Welcome to our presentation. We are from Group 6 and our topic is about English for young learners, Anak Kebutuhan Khusus. As you can see, we are a group that consists of 8 people and the first presenter will be Lorina Embatau. The time is yours.
Okay, thanks for the opportunity. My name is Lorina Embatau. The first material is about the amazing brain. So in this matter, there are 4 things we are going to talk about. The first is brain shaping experience. Second is emotion and learning. Third is multisensory memory. And the last is making meaning of information. So the first is brain shaping experience. The experiences we experience form neural connection in the brain. This concept is known as neuroplasticity. When children learn or experience new things, their brains form and strengthen neural pathways that allow them to understand and respond to the world around them. Jadi pertama itu brain shaping experience atau pengalaman membentuk otak itu terjadi ketika anak-anak belajar atau mengalami hal-hal baru yang membentuk pengalaman mereka dan membentuk saraf-saraf di otak yang membantu mereka untuk memahami dan merespon dunia sekitar mereka, seperti itu. The second is emotion and learning. Positive emotions such as interest, excitement, or curiosity can improve the learning process. When children feel involved or enthusiastic about a lesson, their brains are more likely for receive and store the information in long-term memory. Jadi kedua itu emotion and learning itu yaitu emosi dan pembelajaran, di mana emosi itu sangat berperan penting dalam proses pembelajaran. Contohnya ketika anak-anak sedang happy atau berbahagia seperti itu, mereka bisa lebih mudah dalam menerima informasi ataupun pembelajaran yang ada. The third is multisensory memory. Learning process that involve many senses, such as seeing, hearing, feeling, tend to be more effective in remembering information. Children with special needs may have a preference or advantage in one particular sense, but using multiple sense in learning can help strengthen memory. Jadi ketiga ini multisensory memory atau memori multisensori, yaitu memori itu tidak hanya memiliki satu indera, tetapi memiliki beberapa indera. Dan contohnya itu seperti melihat, mendengar seperti itu, dan multisensori yang dimaksud di sini yaitu seperti visual, suara dan sentuhan itu bisa membantu otak lebih mudah untuk mengingat dan menangkap informasi. And the last is making meaning of information. It is important to children to be able to relate lesson for their own experiences or the world around them. When the subject matter has relevance to their life or when they can see the use of what they are learning, they are better able to understand and remember it. So terakhir materi ini yaitu making meaning of information atau informasi membentuk makna itu maksudnya ketika anak-anak mendapatkan membentuk makna dari informasi atau pengalaman-pengalaman mereka. Contohnya seperti saat mereka belajar, mereka bisa mengaitkan pembelajaran itu dengan pengalaman-pengalaman yang sudah mereka alami di lingkungan mereka, seperti itu, sehingga mereka bisa lebih memahami dan menangkap arti dari pembelajaran yang mereka pelajari, seperti itu. Maybe that's all for me. I give it back to moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Lorina, and the next presenter will be Santi Amelia Putri. The time is yours.
Next is children with special needs. Children with special needs refer to individuals who require assistance or accommodation due to physical, cognitive, emotional, or developmental challenges. It is crucial to recognize the unique needs of these children and create inclusive environments that foster their growth and well-being. According to Dr. Mary Ainsworth, a renowned developmental psychologist, understanding and addressing the diverse needs of children with special requirements is not just a moral imperative, but also an investment in building a society that values and supports every individual's potential. Embracing inclusivity in education, healthcare, and community settings is essential to empower these children and enable them to reach their full potential.
Okay, thank you, Leah. And the next presenter will be Melanie Yipwipada. The time is yours.
Okay, I'm going to explain the next part is about symptoms of children with special needs. Symptoms of children with special needs can vary greatly depending on the specific condition or disability. Common signs may include delays in speech or motor skill, difficulties in social interaction, repetitive behaviors, sensory sensitives, and challenges in learning or attention. It is important to consult a healthcare professional for proper assessment if there are concerns about a child's development. Children with special needs may exhibit a range of symptoms depending on the nature of the condition. Developmental delays are often obvious, covering areas such as speech, motor skill, or cognitive abilities. For example, a child may struggle to reach typical developmental milestones such as sitting up, crawling, or talking. There are many types of children with special needs. 3 examples like ADHD or Attention Disorder Hyperactivity Disorder, ADD, Attention Deficit Disorder, and dyslexia or difficult with words. Social challenges are common, with difficulties in forming and maintaining relationships. Children with special needs may show limited eye contact, have difficulty understanding social cues, or experience challenges in communication. Repetitive behavior such as hand flapping and intense focus on a particular interest can also be indicative of certain condition. Sensory sensitivity is another aspect where child may react very strongly to sensory stimuli such as light, sound, or texture. It is important to note that symptoms vary greatly based on the particular special needs the child may have, ranging from conditions such as autism spectrum disorder to ADHD, intellectual disabilities, or physical impairments. Early identification and intervention is essential to provide the right support and resources tailored to the child's unique needs. Parents, caregivers, and educators play an important role in recognizing these symptoms and seeking professional guidance for comprehensive assessment and personalized intervention. So there are several ways that can help children with special needs to manage their emotion, like 1. Teach them how to calm themselves down. 2. Teach them to express their feelings. 3. Don't let them harbor their anger. 4. Set boundaries with them. And the last is encourage them to do physical activities to vent their anger. I think that's all I can explain. I give it back to moderator.
Okay, thank you, Melan. And the next presenter will be Gusdiana. The time is yours.
Thank you, moderator, for the opportunity. I'm Gustiana and I will explain about different level as student. So, different level as student is things that will often be encountered in the world of education. Students will probably be different age, come from different educational, professional, and social backgrounds, and have different linguistic abilities. Their language skill and needs will also be different. Trying to keep an eye on all students at the same time and make sure they are all focused, stimulated, and satisfied can be challenging, but there are a few things that teacher can do to teach students of different levels. To overcome this, one way teacher can be prepared is to make sure have extra activities. Teacher will find that students with a higher level of English or who are faster learners will usually finish an activities before the others. There is using activities that teacher can use. In terms of handling activities, there are two ways in which you could deal with this. One way is to group all the strongest students in one group so that they will be on the same level even if their discussion is above that of the other learners. It won't matter because the groups are working within themselves and not with other groups. And the next is do different tasks with same material. Using different types of tests in the same material. For example, if there are those who prefer writing form, they will be given writing assignment or test. For those who like reading, they can be given assignments such as appearing in front of the class to read out their test result, or in the form of games for activity students. And the next is use peer help. Peer support is a way of helping others who share similar experiences of mental health challenges or substance use issue. As a peer supporter, you can use your own recovery journey to inspire and empower your peers. One of the key skills you need to develop is how to use strength to support peers in their recovery. In this article, jadi, di dalam kelas itu juga terdapat perbedaan level antar siswa. Nah, perbedaan itu tidak dapat dihindari dalam dunia pendidikan. Nah, ada berbagai faktor sebagai antara lain latar belakangnya, faktor penguasaan bahasanya dan sebagainya. Namun itu bisa menjadi tantangan bagi seorang guru karena mereka akan menghadapi banyak siswa dengan banyak perbedaan. Maka dari itu, ada beberapa strategi yang dapat diterapkan oleh guru, seperti menerapkan perbedaan tugas tapi dengan materi yang sama, yaitu mengevaluasi siswa namun cara pengevaluasinya berbeda. Itu tergantung dari cara mana yang lebih disukai siswa. Contohnya ada siswa yang suka menulis, kita bisa memberi tugas dengan bentuk tulisan. Ada yang suka dalam bentuk speaking, kita bisa memberi tugas dalam bentuk berbicara di depan kelas. Dan selanjutnya itu tugas seperti evaluasi oleh teman sebaya. Nah, ini memungkinkan siswa merasa lebih nyaman karena mendapatkan evaluasi dari teman yang lebih memahaminya karena sebaya. Jadi itulah pemaparan materi dari saya. Thank you for the opportunity and I give it back to moderator.
Thank you, Anna. The next presenter will be Dian Indah Kusuma. The time is yours.
Large classroom. So this is the first strategy or first step that can be used for large classroom. The first one is using worksheets. With large classes, providing worksheets to students can help facilitate independent learning. Students can work on their own task, which allows the teacher to give more attention to each student individually. The second one is using pair work and group work. This strategy involves students in teamwork. In large classes, organizing students into pairs or groups allows them to support each other, share ideas, and learn from each other. It can also reduce the sense of isolation in the middle of a large class. And the third one is paying attention to vision and acoustic. With a large number of students, it is important to ensure that all students can see clearly and hear information well. Good spatial organization and thought about visual and acoustic aspect can improve teaching effectiveness. And the last is utilize group size as an advantage. The strength of a large class is the large number of students. Teachers can take advantage of this in activities that involve humor and dramatization. In a large group, the effect of humor can be more pronounced and dramatization becomes more powerful, increasing student engagement.
Okay, thank you, Dian. And the next presenter will be me. Okay, my name is Muhammad Ran Yusuf, and this is my part. Students keep using their own language. So, in a class, especially for young learners, they often use their mother tongue or first language to communicate. This often makes the effectiveness of learning a new language become less due to less exposure to the target language. In this case, it's English. In order to make the student have more exposure, you should first encourage them to use English appropriately. An example, in a classroom activities, encourage them to describe their favorite hobbies or activities in English, provide positive feedbacks and guidance on how they can express their interests, and using English vocabulary and phrases. You should know that when teaching young learners, the first objective is to make them like the target language, or in this case, to make them like English first. You need to make them love the language before we can teach them the next level of the topic. The second is create an English environment. For example, decorate the classroom with English posters, labels, and interactive display. Have activities like word walls where the students added regularly an English word or English vocabulary, or design a specific area for English-only conversation during a group work or break times. Then the last is keep reminding them. Use a sign or gesture during the class to remind students to speak English. For instance, use a visual gesture like this, where your finger across to make them stop using their native language. Or you could also put any other gesture, or maybe a sign that you created yourself to make them to reminding them, and also remember gently reminding them gently to use English. Don't force them. And you can also use another approach, such as using punishment. If they use their native language, you could punish them like getting a marker on their face. That could be effective if they don't want to change their attitude. Now, that's all for me. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, the next presenter will be Andi Nur Anissa. The time is yours.
Students are incooperative and don't want to talk refers to a situation in which students are not actively participating in the classroom activities, discussion, or interaction. This lack of cooperation and reluctance to engage in verbal communication can be a challenge for educators, as it may hinder the learning process and the development of a positive classroom environment. And how to teach with students are incooperative in the classroom. The first is talk or write to individuals, use activities, and the last make a learning contract. And the next, how to teach with students don't want to talk in the classroom. The first is use pair work, allow them to speak in the controlled way at first, use acting out and reading aloud, and the last, use role play.
Okay, thank you, Andy. And the last presenter will be Ade Fitriani Kesuma Bangsa.
Okay, next is students don't understand the listening tape. So children with special needs tend to have limitation in understanding what others say. So we need special way to do some conversation with them. We can do it with this way. First, introduce interview question. So we have to familiarizing children with special needs with interview question so they can make a habit to answer other question. Second is one task only. We cannot give children with special needs many questions because it can make them more stressed. And the last is use the tape script which cut into bits or have words blank out, like the example above. This way can help them to learn answers or complete some question. So I think that's all from me. I'll give back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you, Ade, and we come to the end of our topic. Last but not least, important element in learning. So this is some of important point if you want to raise a children. Okay, that is the end of our presentation. If there any mistake, we are very sorry. And assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.